What is the basis of the argument, the challenge that we're putting forward?
There will be a number of arguments made, but the primary argument is that the Chief Health Officer has gone beyond his power. The Directions 55 purport to regulate workers, workplaces, and that's beyond the power that he's been given under the Parent Act. That'll be the primary argument, but there are a number of others that we will make later in court.
You mentioned yesterday in the meeting, which went online, a couple of the other arguments. Can you outline?
Well, they're related to that. That is an unreasonable decision that was made in the issuance of the Show 55, the Direction 55. The rest of the details of that we'll be making in court.
And one of them you mentioned online yesterday was in the view of the United Energy Businesses was the declaration of Aboriginal people as vulnerable people. It was racist, the way you described it. Can you
make no mistake, the directions are racist. They deem all Aboriginal people to be vulnerable, and that's simply not the case. That in itself has caused so much grief in our community from Aboriginal workers and people who work with Aboriginal people. So that will be an additional argument that's made.
Daniel, sir, can you speak a little bit about what else is different in the NT Act that wouldn't be interstate in those orders?
Yeah, so that actually is one element that is different in the Northern Territory law compared to interstate. The judge who decided the major case in New South Wales actually included in his judgment that if the New South Wales directions, or orders as they're called there, had have targeted a particular race or other particular group in society, then his decision may have been different. And so that is a difference that we do have here in the Northern Territory, because all Aboriginal people have been deemed vulnerable.
But are there other aspects of this that's unique to the NT?
There are, but some of them are quite technical, and it's probably more appropriate to be argued in court rather than here.
Issues about the Chief Health Officer's frame of mind or state of mind at the time?
Are you going to be releasing the documents you filed in court?
If my clients give me instructions to do that at the right time, I will.
Can you give us examples of, you said it caused a lot of grief for Aboriginal people? Can you sort of elaborate on that?
Maybe I can answer that. So we had a report earlier this week, a very troubling report from a local business where one of the Indigenous employees approached them and said, look, I know that me being classed as a vulnerable person, even though I'm perfectly fit and healthy, is causing problems within the business. Therefore, I'd like to announce that I renounce my Aboriginal heritage and I no longer identify as Indigenous, purely for the sake of helping that business deal with these racist laws.
So what were the problems that was causing?
Well, if you're Indigenous, you are considered vulnerable regardless of your personal health situation, regardless of your vaccination status. And so being classed as vulnerable means that everyone around you has to behave differently because of your vulnerable state. Now, I don't know about you, but driving an individual to the point where they willingly offer to deny their cultural heritage is an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.